Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing a silly movie. Yeah, I'm still not gonna let that go. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Independence Day, the original film from 1996, directed by Roland Emmerich, and a whole bunch of actors that some of them are still working today, some of them we haven't seen in a while. So here we go. Let's start talking about this movie. What did I think of this silly little film? First of all, this movie isn't so little. This movie is actually really big, huge, explosive. Oh my god, it could probably give Michael Bay a run for his money. But I will say that unlike Michael Bay films, this movie actually has a lot of potential, where this film centers on a story of all these groups of characters. They're all separated, but eventually towards the end of the film, they all come together, unite, to stop this alien threat that's coming to Earth and destroying everything. They wipe out everything in this movie. One of the most iconic shots in this film is when the White House gets exploded by the UFO up in the sky. It's one of the most iconic scenes, one of the most memorable. They used it in so many of the trailers back in 1996. I still remember the marketing for this and how hyped people were getting for this movie. Did it live up to the hype? I'll remember at the time that I wasn't the biggest fan of Independence Day. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun film. But I wouldn't go out and say, this is the most amazing movie of all time. Where, believe me, I've heard some people say this. And I think they're on crack sometimes. It's a fun movie, don't get me wrong. It's just not a great movie. And I think people that can step back and not hold on to nostalgia can agree with that. That yes, okay, this movie's okay for what it is. And I'm gonna admit, I'm not even gonna recommend the ultimate cut. Like there's this director's cut that has like 30 minutes of extra footage that makes the movie like I believe 2 hours and a half now. And I'm gonna admit, I get bored during that version. There's the scenes I can see now, those scenes got cut out for a reason, and they should just leave it the way it was. That's good because I have the DVD that has both versions, the theatrical version and the ultimate cut version. And I'll admit, I just watched the ultimate cut version again recently, and yeah, I'll stick with the theatrical cut. I think that's the better version. The characters in this movie, there's some really good characters, and then there's some forgettable characters that you don't really care much for. But they're in the movie with some of the good characters that you're forced to like be with them anyways. So whatever. Will Smith is definitely one of the highlights in this movie. This was the movie that really skyrocketed his movie career because at the time he was known for television. I think he did Bad Boys before this one, but Bad Boys wasn't really the commercial success that Independence Day was because Will Smith was coming off of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which ran for 6 seasons. A great show, by the way, just in case somebody out there hasn't seen it. I don't know who hasn't seen it by this point. I think even younger kids today are like checking out The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because it still holds up to this day, and it's Will Smith, man. But yes, Will Smith definitely is a highlight in this movie. He brings a lot of charisma to his role, and he's really funny, man. He has a lot of funny one-liners, and he's badass. Jeff Goldblum, this was also during the time when he just came off of Jurassic Park, so he was kind of hot off the band, off the oven, I guess. I don't know if that was the right term, but whatever. So, and this was right before he went to do The Lost World, Jurassic Park. So it was really cool seeing him in this role. It's very similar to Malcolm, I guess, Dr. Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Maybe not as over-the-top funny, but when you watch The Lost World, Jurassic Park, and you watch this movie, it's sort of a similar character, maybe without going into the dinosaur area, whatever, right? But he's playing that scientist-type role that we know him for, and being very smart and sounding very smart and wishing that you could be that smart, even though some of the things that he's probably saying are not really true. Like he's hacking into an alien spaceship. Okay, but he's saying these lines that, whatever, I'll buy into it. Then we also have Bill Pullman, who's playing the president in this film. And I gotta say, one of my favorite movie presidents of all time. I don't care how cheesy his speech is at the end. He is a great president. And that speech at the end, man, gets me all teary-eyed. It's like, I'm not even American, I'm Canadian, and I still love that speech. So, I mean, you Americans are lucky, man. You get some awesome movies with some great speeches that uplift me, even. I also have to give a little shout out to Randy Quaid. I mean, the guy in real life, I guess, went crazy or something. He's here in Canada, I think, with his wife hiding because there's some conspiracy in Hollywood that people are trying to kill him. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. It seems natural that his character would be exactly what I guess it sounds like he actually is, a nutball. And as a matter of fact, it turns out that he's not really a nutball in the movie, that he actually is telling the truth, and that aliens do exist. So he, goes out and fights them because he wants payback for whatever those aliens did to him. And I wonder if one day he'll do that and try to come back to Hollywood and get revenge on whoever was trying to kill him. Maybe he actually is telling the truth, just like in this movie. I don't know. And people aren't just believing him. People are just saying, nah, he's crazy. Get out of here. So with all the cheesy one-liners in this movie and some out-to-reach ideas like hacking into an alien spaceship, how does this movie hold up? I'm gonna say it's still a fun film, definitely a product of its time, from the 90s. There's some things, as long as you have fun with this movie, I think you can have a great time with it. If you're someone that is looking for realistic and natural explanations and stuff like that, you're not gonna get it here. This is a popcorn flick through and through, and it's definitely one of those action flicks from the 90s, not to be taken seriously, just to have a good time with. And there's nothing wrong with one of those films. That's what Michael Bay's first Transformers film was. As a matter of fact, that's what a lot of Michael Bay films are. Independence Day, on the other hand, this one is a worthy film of, I think, anybody checking out. I think everybody should check out this film because it's a fun film. And so I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. That's all I have to say about the original Independence Day. Go check it out. Get ready for Independence Day resurgence. From what I'm hearing, it's not living up to the original, but whatever. I'm going to go in with my own expectations. I don't care what other people think. I care what I think. And if I don't like it, then I'll let you guys know. And if you agree with me, that's awesome. If you don't agree with me, leave your comments below and tell me what you thought of the movie. Do you hate this movie? Do you like the new one? I have no idea. We'll talk about the new one another time. But until next time, like this video if you agree with me. Subscribe to my channel. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter and my podcast. And until next time, guys, take care.